Today we're going to go over how to replace the piston inside the Golden Eagle. The way the piston normally works is you pull down on this lever and then you can move the tiller up and down. This unit in particular will do it without pulling down. So what we're going to do is replace this piston. The first thing I'm going to do is go over the tools. The tools we'll need is a Phillips screwdriver. We will need an Allen wrench. I believe it is 4 millimeters, and then we will need a 10 millimeter wrench. So the first thing we're going to do is take off this shroud. So the shroud has 6 Phillips screws, 1, 2, and then a third one underneath here, and then 3 on this side as well. And that's where we're going to get our Phillips screwdriver and take those 6 screws out. So now I have the 6 screws out, and then this shroud just kind of pops out of the way. Now, these wires are also attached. In order to not put too much stress on these wires, I got kind of a cardboard box. I'm going to try to just rest this on. There we go. So there's not any stress on the wires and it is out of my way. And now we have access to the inside of the tiller. Here is the piston, and our new one is going to go right there. So now we've got to get rid of this bottom screw here. You got a 4 millimeter Allen on one side and your 10 millimeter wrench on the other side. There we go. I'm going to try to catch these and save them if I need them. Now, this is a little tight on there as well, so I'm going to get a hammer, if you have one. Just kind of back that bolt out. If you have to, you can get like a Phillips screwdriver, and then, or not a Phillips, a flathead screwdriver, and kind of knock it out the rest of the way. I've got a couple, I've got 2 metal washers. There we go. I recommend starting with the bottom one. The hole is bigger, so there's more wiggle room. It's easier to get out. I tried to start with the top one first, and there was a lot of tension. So now that this is out, there should be a lot less tension up there. So now we're going to do the top one next. So I've already taken off the bolt on the top one, and then all I got to do is take this out. Again, we have a couple metal washers that are loose. It's a little tight. Again, if you have to, you can get a flathead screwdriver. That works very well. There we go. So now I'm going to work in reverse order. I've got the new piston here, and then as you can see, we have our bolts. And you have a small metal washer, a large metal washer in the middle, and another small one, followed by 2 more washers, and then your lock nut. So it's going to be a little tricky to get these in. Actually, this one might even be tight enough to just stay on its own. So I'm going to start by putting my bolt through. Then trying to get, don't drop it, trying to get this first washer in. Then from here, you want the handle of the piston facing outward. So try and line that up. There we go. Now the fun part is going to be getting the second washer in here. There is a lot of tension up here. So I cut, and then I'm going to show you what I'm doing now while it's going on. I got the washers in. This last washer is very tight, so I kind of wedged in there and kind of hit it with a hammer. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So you see I'm kind of hammering it and trying to get it centered. So I'm using my Phillips screwdriver and a hammer to kind of adjust it to where I want it. You should be able to see it line up. Once it's lined up, I can then push my bolt through. So now I've got the washer lined up. I'm going to push this bolt all the way through. Might have to wiggle the piston a little bit to get it to go. Get that out of my way. You can use your hammer as well if you have to. There we go. Then I've got my two washers. I've got a big washer and a little washer that go right here. And then I've got our lock nut. I'm going to put it on, but I'm not going to tighten it just yet because I do want some flexibility when we do the bottom. So here's the bottom part of the piston. Same deal. We've got our bolts and we got two large washers, one on each side, and then two regular washers and our lock nut. Goes just the same as the other one. We're going to do bolt in, followed by a washer, then through our piston. Again, it will be a little tight. So similar concept as the top one. I did line this up. I had to hit it with a hammer, just a little bit to get it in. And now I'm going to have to line it up. You can kind of see where the holes line up on this side. From there, you're just going to have to kind of finagle it until it really lines up, and you might have to use hammer again on this to get it through this hole here. So I finally got it lined up enough to where when I hammered this side, I pushed it through. You can also, if you have to, change the direction of the bolt. I used this to get in here and then kind of hammered up. But eventually it did go through. From here, we're going to put our two smaller washers on and our lock nut. Then with our 4mm Allen wrench and then our 10mm regular wrench, we're going to tighten this bolt and the top bolt up. So now I've got the bolt back in. One thing I did want to touch on, this is a pretty straightforward replacement. It's just the bolt down there and the bolt up here. However, in execution, this is very tight. It fits very tight and it only goes a certain way, so it does require a bit of force with the hammer and screwdriver. The other thing I want to mention is I did have this shroud resting and some of the wires came unplugged. If wires do come unplugged, they tend to only go a certain way, like this plug will only go here, this one came undone. If they come unplugged out of this box here, I noticed Golden actually color codes them. So if I zoom in, you can see there's a pink and a black line, and then down here there was silver and I believe a blue. So if these come unplugged, just match the blue to the blue, black to the black, so on and so forth, because that is what happened to me. So you can line these back up if they do get unplugged during the process. So now that all our wires are plugged back together, we're going to put the shroud back on. So you are going to have to tilt down the handle of the piston to actually get it into here first. There it goes. And it should line up pretty well. And then from there, we'll put our 6 screws in, 3 on this side, 3 on the other. You can sometimes even peek open the shroud and kind of guide the screws in for the first few, and then the rest should be pretty straightforward. But we'll put those 6 screws back in, and that'll get our shroud back on. So I've got all 6 screws back in, and our Eagle is ready to go. If you like this video or you have any other questions on the Golden Eagle or any of our products, feel free to give us a call. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marc's Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.